Hi there, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I make fashion videos, makeup videos, storytime videos, and every Friday on my channel is Mental Health Friday, so you can check that out. I have some playlists as well, and if you like me and if you like my videos, feel free to like and subscribe, and let's just get this video started, I guess. This video is about the first time that I ever smoked weed. And it is also about the first time I ever had a panic attack because yay, they happened at the same time. Lucky me. So if you are interested in this video, let's keep on watching. Okay, so I had just moved to a new town and I didn't really have any friends. I didn't go to high school in this town. I went to a different high school and I just started working at a new job and I wanted to make friends, and I started talking to this guy who I closed with at work. And another thing that was happening in my life is I was going to Veld. This was in 2013. I was going to Veld Music Festival in Toronto. It's an EDM music festival if you haven't heard of it. And I was interested in trying MDMA, but I hadn't even smoked weed yet, so I was like, not really sure if I should do this yet. I didn't even know where to get any anyways. So anyways, I was talking to this guy at work. He just randomly messaged me. I was going to go for a workout. I just drank in my pre-workout and then I get a message on Facebook and I just started talking to him and I was like, cool, a new person for me to talk to, a way to make friends. This is pretty exciting. So we started talking and the topic of weed came up, and I live in Canada, so weed is like, it's pretty much legal here, so that's why I seem so chill about it. Like, it's just, yeah, it's pretty much legal. So he asked me if I had ever tried it and I said that I hadn't, and he asked me if I was against it and I was like, no, like I'm not against it, it's just something I never came across in high school. There's a lot of people in my high school who did smoke weed, and we actually had a forest that was called the Magic Forest where people would go at lunch and get high, but my group of friends never did that and I never did that, so I was like, no, I have never smoked weed before. And he asked, yeah, if I was against it or if I just hadn't done it, and I said I hadn't done it, but I was interested in doing it. So I asked him all these questions about it, and he said that eating was really awesome when you were high and like listening to music and stuff too. And then I was like, well, my parents are going out of town, like we could hang out and like get high. And he's like, yeah, that sounds really fun. So my parents went out of town, and then the next night we ended up closing together at work, and I was so shy and socially awkward, and I had only talked to him on the internet for like 6 hours, and I'd never really talked to him in person, so I didn't really like say anything. But he finished his clothes fast because he used to close all the time, and then I was finishing my clothes and he came and helped me, and then after that we walked to my house. And if I don't know someone and I'm forced to hang out with them, well, I wasn't really forced, like I chose to, but if I'm forced to spend like a lot of time with them, I will fill the silence with just me talking. Like, I hate awkward silences. I just talk and talk and talk. So I was probably talking about how scared of the dark I was and all that sort of stuff. And then we finally got to my house and I had to run upstairs to get alcohol. And I remember my mom had left me $20 and it was sitting on the counter, and I felt like really scared that he was going to steal the $20. And obviously, why would I be hanging out with him if I was even worried that he was going to steal the $20? Like, looking back now, that should have been like a red flag that, you know what, you probably shouldn't go over to his house and smoke weed with him. But anyways, after that we walked to his house. It was about a 10-minute walk away. He lived in his own apartment, and I was like, wow, that's like pretty cool. So we went to his house. I drank a lot of coffee before because at night we get free iced coffee. I used to work at McDonald's, so we used to get free iced coffee when we closed, just whatever was left over from the day. And I used to love iced coffee, so I drank a bunch of that. And then we get to his house and I drank some coolers as well. And so I was feeling like pretty tipsy, like whatever, also like kind of buzzed from the caffeine. And then he's like, all right, like, do you want to try this now? And I was like, well, you can go first. So he lights it. It was a bong. He lights it, smokes it, all that sort of stuff. And I was just asking him questions like how to do it, all that sort of stuff. And then he packed, oh, I don't even know like weed terms. This is really embarrassing. So he packed it for me, and he said that you light it and then you breathe in and then you pull it out and then breathe in more or something like that. So I took a big inhale while lighting it, and then I burned nearly like all of the weed that was in there, because I didn't know what to do, so I just burned like all of it. And then I pulled out the piece and breathed in more, and then I held it in for a really long time, and then I exhaled. But then I started coughing so much because I don't smoke like anything. This is my first time smoking ever. I'd never even smoked cigarettes at this point. And I breathed out, and oh my goodness, I was dying. Like, I was coughing so much that like my jaw hurt. It was really bad. And then he got me some water, and I was just like still dying. And then we were just sitting there, and he was like, so like, how's it feel? Does it feel great? And I'm like, oh no, like I don't feel anything. And then all of a sudden when I was saying that, like the world started looking really, really weird. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. I don't know like anyone else who ever experiences this, but it was kind of like picture vision. Like each time I looked, my vision was so choppy that it was like frame by frame by frame by frame instead of one smooth like just pan of the room. It was like and it was so bizarre, and I started freaking out. I was like, what is wrong with me? And then I started having a panic attack, and I'd never had a panic attack before, so I was like, what the heck? Like, I'm literally having a heart attack. Like, I'm dying. Like, I should probably go to the hospital. Like, what is going on? And he was so high and just acting so stupid. I'd ask him a question, he'd be like, what? And just like stare at me. Meanwhile, I was freaking out, thinking I was gonna die. I remember seeing, he had a hammer in his living room for some reason, and I just thought like, I should just hit myself with this hammer and like kill myself so I don't feel like this. And I kept asking, am I gonna feel like this forever? And he looked at me and would be like, what? I don't know. And I just was just freaking out. And then all of a sudden my mouth got really, really dry, and I could barely talk, so I was freaking out more. And it was just a terrible, terrible experience. Obviously I didn't know this person very well. I was in this new location. I had never been to his house before. So I was just freaking out, and he said that it usually lasted 3 hours. So I was looking at my phone every 2 minutes, trying to wait for these hours to pass. And then his roommates come home. There's 3 of them. They all just stare at me, because I guess he didn't have girls over very often, so they all just stared at me, which made me feel even more weird. And I was just freaking out. I had to go to the bathroom so badly, but I was scared that I was gonna get like killed or like raped or something. Like, actually that's what was going through my mind. Like, where am I? I don't know these guys. I'm a very shy and timid girl. I am not a fighter at all. So I was kind of freaking out. Like, if I got attacked, I would lose. If someone tried to rape me, I would lose. If anything bad tried to happen to me, I wouldn't be able to defend myself. So obviously I was freaking out, and then eventually I went to the bathroom and I was kind of like freaking out, and then I came back and they all stared at me again, and I was feeling so sleepy, but I had to fight it because I didn't want anything bad to happen to me while I was sleeping. And I was still freaking out, and I told him to put on a song to calm me down. So he played the song All the Pretty Girls by Fun, but it sounded so distorted and just really weird, and that freaked me out even more because I really like that song. It's a really nice tune, but it sounded so bizarre, and I was freaking out. It was like, okay, my hearing's messed up too. Like, I am just a wreck. And then eventually he could tell I was really tired, and he was like, yeah, you can stay in my room. And I was like, oh my god. And he's like, I'll sleep on the couch. I was like, oh, thank goodness. So I went in his room and just passed out. And then I remember he came in and was just like staring at me, and then I woke up and he was just staring at me. I was like, what are you doing? He was like, I'm just seeing if you're okay. And I was like, yeah, bye. And then he left, and I was like, huh, thank goodness. And then I woke up the next day and just really wanted to go home, and then he walked me home and sort of apologized for everything. And yeah, I kind of avoided him for a really long time after that, because I was like, it was just really embarrassing too, you know. People don't usually freak out when they smoke weed. Obviously I shouldn't have taken a huge hit from a bong the first time I ever smoked weed. Usually people use like a joint or a pipe, so why did he do that? I don't know. Why did I go over to his house when I didn't even know him? Like, there's another thing. But yeah, that's the first time I ever smoked weed. It was a really bad experience, and it made me feel really weird because everyone else talked about how awesome weed was. Meanwhile, I was like, I literally had a panic attack the first time I tried weed. And the second time didn't really go very well either. Maybe I'll make another video about that. But yeah, that's the end of this story. It It's really embarrassing. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. If you feel like it, you can like this video, you can subscribe to my channel. I'm going to post more story times later, and you can leave a comment down below about your time smoking weed, your first time. I would like to hear how it went. Anyways, have a great day and a great night, and if you're going to smoke weed, be safe, make sure you're comfortable, don't just go to some random's house.